All right, so this is a video discussion on Hans Rosling's theory of poverty. I'm Chase, this is Tanner, Laura, and Robbie. We're just going to kind of have a panel discussion. So I guess the first question I could think of is what would you guys say the point he was trying to make in that first bit of the movie where he was showing the graphs and I guess what you guys think, I started with Robbie, what his point was there?
I think one of the points that he was trying to make is America or the United States is it started up like on pretty much all the graphs. It started up quite a bit, and then all the other countries kind of started to go like right by the United States and kind of started to overpass the United States. So I think that's kind of the point that he was trying to make with all those graphs. But yeah, that's
Laura, what would you say?
I guess it's just showing how how big of a progress over just a short amount of time that the countries can make, and really anything can happen. And it's kind of interesting. I see one of my notes somewhere that India and U.S. At one point were kind of neighbored countries as far as progress goes. And then he showed that in 1957 compared to 2007, in India, the health was pretty much the same. So it went from being so close at one point to so far away as far as health goes.
I feel like he was showing that there's lots of different factors that influence how a country will be successful. And I think that those don't necessarily develop in the same order for certain countries. Like as we saw, the mortality rate of some African countries was a lot lower than the US's back during our early development. And so you have to look at many different factors to be able to tell what or how a country is doing developmentally.
I don't know what else more can be said. One thing I did notice is he kind of addressed the misconception that we all have that we all the countries kind of started at one spot and we just have happened to make it so far, and a developing country only made it so far down the line. But I think what he wanted us to see is that we kind of did start in different spots, and that some countries, though they might seem underdeveloped, they've actually come a long way, even further than America did in their development. So, anybody have another question?
What do you guys think was most important to overcoming poverty for countries? Like what factor do you think he addressed that would be most important?
Go for it.
okay. So I think that he showed different different countries. So one country got like $1 to $2 a week. A different country got $2 to $3 a week, and the other countries got like $10 to $50 a week. And it's amazing how much it improved each time. Like the 10 to 50 got like a stove. The 1 to 2, it was just like they were just like really struggling. And so I think that like just a little bit, even just a little difference can make so much difference with like how much money that they get a week. So I think that's a big factor, I guess.
I think, no, I mean, I don't know if I would see it in the same light he did, but I think he did make a big point, swallowing the sword and everything, that culture has a lot to do with your development. And I could kind of see where he's coming from, that, when you're rich in culture, I guess it kind of brings meaning and purpose and joy to life. And I think that the point he was trying to make is that is a greater indicator of development more than how rich or something the country is.
One of the graphs he showed was comparing mortality to how much you make, how much they made. Is that right? And I feel like a lot of those factors go hand in hand. It's gonna make more of a talking
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Just going along with that some more too, with the culture actually. He talked about the importance of markets, and I think that markets help provide that social interaction while at the same time boosting the economy because people learn to like trade with each other, barter for goods, and everyone gets what they need, ideally. So I think that that helps boost culture and economy at the same time.
Anybody else have any questions? Laura or Robbie?
A question I was thinking throughout the presentation actually was why, so what is keeping us from getting other countries out of poverty? Why haven't we gotten to that point?
That's a good question. I guess something I've just thought of is we probably all have different ideas of, what we need to do to get people out of poverty. And, while one group is trying to improve the health and culture of, a country, the other group is trying to help the wealth of that country, and maybe that is preventing it. Maybe everybody, nobody's pulling in one direction. Everybody's kind of pulling in different directions, and that might be causing things to, not get done. Or so I'm not quite sure.
That's a good question.
I think that countries need to learn to be self-reliant. I think that we try to help, but we try not to push them in a certain direction. We want them to develop to be whatever they choose to be, not what we choose for them to be. So I think that being self-reliant and learning to develop things for themselves is important.